Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I'm Adam, obviously. This is MUFC Transfer Talk. Today we're talking mainly Ivan Perisic, but we're talking so much more as well. And shout out to all the early guys that are in here, guys and girls, Josh, Aiden, Abdul, Mustafa, Muride. Thank you all for getting involved with Adam McKola TV's live stream today. Today we'll be talking all the latest MUFC transfer talk. Manny, thank you for getting involved again. And Rafe comes in with a big yo. How you doing? Hope you guys are all well. The weather here today where I am is very, very miserable. The weather in England was absolutely scorching last week. And now today it's raining, it's cold. You need the jumpers on again. Put your fans away because it's British weather again. But apart from that, I'm feeling good. I'm chilling. I've just been watching the Germany-Mexico game in the Confederations Cup. It was 2-0 at half-time to Germany. Mexico having an absolute nightmare at the start. But like I say, we're here to talk MUFC transfers. And that is exactly what we will be doing. We've got over 140 people in the house at the moment. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already as well. We're so close to 34,000. And of course, we've got that target of 40,000 by the start of the new season. Paul Wade, how you doing? Mark, you, oh yeah. Joshua says Perisic or Brozovic. I haven't really got an opinion on either of them, to be honest. I mean, I know there's a lot of ratings around the Brozovic lad. And Perisic, I'm not really fussed if we get him or we don't get him. I don't think Perisic is an improvement on our starting 11 because on the left-hand side, I think Martial's better. In behind the striker, you'd rather have Mata, you'd rather have Mkhitaryan. And out wide on the right, you'd rather have Mkhitaryan or even Mata or somebody else. I don't think Ivan Perisic would improve our starting 11 at all. But let's get you to the latest news today that has been circulating in Italy and has been put into a fantastic little article by Sport Witness. So if you want to check out their website, it's sportwitness.co.uk. And what they do is they translate a lot of interviews and they translate a lot of articles, and then they try and break things down for you as well. They've been explaining the FFP regulations. Now we know that Inter Milan need to raise 30 million euros by tomorrow, I think it is, by the 30th of June, which is Friday. Now they're saying to Manchester United, we want 50 million euros or more for Ivan Perisic. United are saying, no way. We know you need money, so we're sticking in with this 30 to 35 million euros bid, and we're not budging any further. But the way it stands now, the Gazetta explained the situation remains the same regarding the financial fair play, and Manchester United need to spend 50 million euros by Friday or no sale. After that, he isn't on the market anymore, and Luciano Spalletti will get to use him, even if the player would prefer the move to Old Trafford. So, this is what they're saying. The only way a sale would then take place is if Inter receive an offer that blows them away, meaning well beyond 50 million euros. So what Inter Milan, according to the Gazette, are saying at this moment in time is 50 million euros or no deal by Friday. If you want him after Friday, it's going to cost more than 50 million. 50 million euros for Ivan Perisic is taking the piss. Now, I've told you guys before, don't get surprised by transfer fees no more. And I'm not surprised by this transfer fee. I'm not surprised Inter Milan won an astronomical fee for Ivan Perisic because he's one of their better players. He's been there a few years. He's been pretty successful. And Manchester United are asking about him. So obviously the money's going to be quite high. They don't want to get mugged off by Manchester United the way they see things. United taking advantage of their financial fair play situation. And they're saying they're sticking to their guns. We want 50 million euros. Well, if that's the case, Manchester United need to say, right, thanks, cool, see you later. If you want to do a deal at 30 million euros, fair enough. 35 million euros, fair enough. But 50 million euros for Ivan Perisic, he's not an improvement to our starting 11, at least in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Governor Bandicoot saying we don't need Perisic anyways. Sean saying 50 million, hell no. And Glenn saying tell Inter to enjoy a transfer ban for poor business handlings. It is pretty much that kind of situation, isn't it? Unless they can raise the money elsewhere. And I've been reading a bit of the breakdown by Sport Witness, and they say, given a few other deals that may go down for Inter Milan, they may only need to raise around 9 million euros. But even still, they need to sell someone else to raise that 9 million euros. If they don't raise that money, they would need to make around 8 million euros. If they don't raise that money, then they're stuffed. So Manchester United have to rely on the fact that they may need that, and then, they're just going to have to pay it. But if they don't take our bid that we've bid, and they're sticking at this ridiculous fee, then United should just move on. Look, it's all well and good paying the money to get the players that we want. That's absolutely fine. And Manchester United have to be in the business of doing that. And we have to be in the business of backing Jose Mourinho in the transfer window. But we also don't want to be taken for a ride by teams as well. Now, when you look at Alvaro Morata, for example, and you hear of 60 to 70 million euros, whilst that's a lot of money, you can kind of understand it when you take into consideration a few things. With Ivan Perisic, you can't understand it because 50 million, it doesn't make sense to me. United would get 2 to 3 years out of him. I think he would be nothing more than a squad player. Do you need to spend that kind of money on a squad player? I'm not too sure, to be totally honest. So I think United should hold to their guns. Rahil says, we can get Martial for 50 million. Why do we need Perisic, who's half as good for the same? Very, very true. Well, I know Martial's fee did include some add-ons, and we've probably only paid around 45 million for him so far. But it's totally right. When you can get Anthony Martial for that kind of fee, and we have Anthony Martial for that kind of fee, doesn't make sense to me. Now, I know I've said to you guys, look, Man United getting Matic for 40 million euros. Why are you guys surprised at that? Now, yes, it's a lot of money. Yes, it's a little bit over the odds. Yes, you shouldn't be surprised by transfer fees. But also, you can understand 40 million euros for Ivan Perisic with Chelsea more than you can understand this one. More than you can understand this one. And I think this one's just the wrong way to go. And if I was Ed Woodward, if I was Man United, I'd say, fuck yourselves. If you want our money, take it. But we're not giving you over the odds for this player. Because I think 30 to 35 million euros is already over the odds for this player. Marcus Rashford, I'm guessing it's the real deal, says fuck Perisic in the comments. We might get a player for Thursday nights next year, says Trooper. United aren't going to be in Thursday nights next year. Don't worry about that. Mohammed says, answer my questions whilst not asking a question. You're going to need to ask a question if you want me to answer it. Come on, mate. Gov Bandicoot says, forget Perisic, play Martial on the left and get Max Cruz as the striker. I think you'll be left disappointed. I don't think we will end up signing Max Cruz, but nice to hear your opinion on that one. I've not heard many people say Max Cruz in the comments. Mustafa says, Sal's name being linked to Manchester United. My thoughts. Think about it. Just have a little think about it for yourself for a second. Saul Niguez, who plays for Atletico Madrid, who scored a hat-trick for Spain recently. Now, obviously, that hat-trick has got him in the headlines. So he's obviously then going to be linked with clubs. But also, just have a little think about this. Why didn't we sign Antoine Griezmann? Because Atletico Madrid can't buy players. Therefore, they're not going to sell Antoine Griezmann because they can't replace him. So why would Atletico Madrid sell us Saul Niguez? Why? If they're not going to sell us Antoine Griezmann, who wanted to come to Man United, who seemed like he was going to come to Man United, why would they sell us Saul Niguez? Please, just someone answer that. Please. Spoon Dangler says, Matic is 20 to 1 on to join Manchester United, which is crazy odds. If you put £20 down on Matic to join United, you would get £21 back, which would mean you would win £1. It's not worth the bet because I think there's a possibility that it may not happen. I genuinely do think there's a possibility that it may not happen. So to be betting on those ridiculous odds with it, look, the bookies aren't always right. The bookies aren't always right. You have to remember that. We've got close to 400 people in the live stream at the moment, but we still haven't hit 100 likes. Hit that like button. What are you waiting for? It doesn't take you long. It doesn't interrupt the stream. Just hit that goddamn like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're 12 away from 34,000 at this moment in time. Absolutely fantastic. We've had loads of new followers and loads of new subscribers in the last couple of weeks. Thank you all for subscribing, and thank you all for getting involved. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching this back later on today, thank you very much. Shreyas says, what are your thoughts on Keane and Defoe snubbing us? I've seen this. The ex-editor of the Manchester Evening News, you can see why he's the ex-editor, not the current editor. Although, with this kind of opinion, he probably could still hold down a job at the MEM, because, I mean, they're not doing much, are they? They very rarely get any news out there at the moment. They're a glorified blog these days. And he said, United have now missed out on 2 England internationals in Keane and Defoe. So United missed out on Defoe, yeah? United missed out on Jermaine Defoe, who signed for Bournemouth. Listen. If Jermaine Defoe had an opportunity to sign for Manchester United, he would crawl on his hands and knees through broken glass and shit to sign for Manchester United over Bournemouth. Are you lot really expecting me or anybody else to believe United were rejected by Defoe? Now, I can understand people saying Michael Keane, even though it's wrong. I can understand them saying Michael Keane, because United were in for him at some point. We opted to get Victor Lindelof. But Jermaine Defoe, are you fucking shitting me? Seriously. This is what people are doing these days to get retweets, to get clicks, is linking players with Man United so that when the player eventually leaves and goes somewhere else, United are then put as, we missed out on this guy. Come on, man. Have a fucking day off. It's no wonder you're the ex-editor, because you're shit, mate. Absolutely shit. Arif, how you doing? Nathan says it's his first time watching live. Thank you for watching live, mate. Shane says, would you prefer either Alexis? No, he says he wouldn't prefer either Alexis or Mahrez over Perisic. Me too, but it's not going to happen, is it, really? Why don't we sign Alexis Sanchez, says Itoro? It seems like Manchester City are in for him at the moment, which is interesting. It'd be absolutely hilarious to see the meltdown at the Emirates when Alexis Sanchez does leave. But if he joined an English club, it would be absolutely funny. If that English club was Man United, it would be even more funny, but I doubt it will be. It looks like he's set to reunite himself with Pep Guardiola. Although, I don't know whether the rumours are true, to be honest, because I haven't checked them out at all. Zach, thank you for the nice words, mate. Fantastic Mr. Fox is in the house. Abdullah Jr. says hello. Jay O'Connell says, people saying Perisic is shit, don't watch football. I don't think Perisic is shit. I just don't think he's an improvement on our starting 11. Like, if you played a left winger, I think Marshall over Perisic. I think Perisic is a decent player. Hard-working winger. He can get goals. He can get assists. He's experienced. He can play in a number of positions, and he would be a good addition to the squad. But I think if Inter Milan are going to take us for a ride and try and get some ridiculous fee out of us, then we just need to say thanks, but no thanks. Alex, how you doing, mate? Nice of you to get involved in the comment today. Mustafa says Andreas Pereira and Big Timbo need to play this season. Very, very true, mate. Thank you for the nice words, Mohamed Al. Aiden says Zlatan injured is better than Defoe. I'm not sure about that. Look, I like Jermaine Defoe. There was once upon a time when I would have probably had him at Manchester United. But now isn't that time. Maybe 10 years ago or something like that, but not now. Jamie says, if Rashi, Axel and Timbo are solid first team players in the future, he would be so happy. You and me both, mate. You and me both. Close to 450 people at the moment, and we've got over 150 likes. So 1 in 3 have liked it at the moment. Can we get it to 2 in 3? Hit that like button. What are you waiting for? Lalat Perisic says, Anirud, is it between James or Perisic? Because if so, it's James all the way, says Liam. I don't think we've got an option of Perisic. James Rodriguez. I don't think Jose Mourinho is in for James Rodriguez. I don't think he's in for him at all. I think James Rodriguez is a fantastic player. Scores goals, makes goals, got great skill, great touch. set pieces, all that. But do I think James Rodriguez is going to end up at Man United this summer? I genuinely do not. I genuinely do not. Although if he did, happy days, because he's a top player. Jake says, who would your 4 ideal realistic signings be? Morata, Fabinho, and one more. I don't think we need much else, you know. How many players do we need to sign, really? Unless there's a few players that leave Manchester United. Unless there's a few that leave. Who do we need to sign? Because once we get that Fabinho-like signing central midfielder or Matic or whoever, if we get Perisic, okay, another addition to the squad. If we get Morata, and we've got Lindelof. So we've improved central midfield, we've improved centre-half, we've improved up top, and we've added a player to the squad. If we made those signings, where else do we need to sign? I think it's only squad players then. I don't think it's any other huge signings we need to make. And I think it'd be, if players leave, we need to replace them. But I think, like some of you guys are saying, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Andreas Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, these guys need to be given opportunities next season. Manchester United making countless numbers of signings isn't going to help these guys play next season. The talk of United signing Nemanja Matic and Fabinho worries me, because that blocks Timothy Fosu-Mensah. We should only be signing one of them, not both of them. So that's my opinion on that one. Jack says, did Mourinho always get the league title in his second season? He did at Chelsea in his second spell. He did at Chelsea in his first spell. He did at Real Madrid. He did at Inter Milan. So he did at Porto. So his track record says he normally wins the league title in his second year. But that is not to say it's guaranteed for Man United next season. But what I would say is, given his track record, he will know exactly what Manchester United need this summer. He will know exactly where we need to improve in the team. He will know who he wants to buy, why he wants to buy them, what he needs, what qualities he has to add to the team. He will know new things about the players that he's got at his disposal. He would have learnt to trust some players that he maybe had question marks about. He would have learnt more about players that he would have thought more of, maybe, and he would have he'll probably let some go. But Jose Mourinho will be able to mould this squad into his own squad this summer. And I'm really looking forward to that. Look, I am worried if we sign a few more players than expected and the likes of Timothy Fosu-Mensah and Axel Tuanzebe aren't getting a sniff. But I'm also looking forward to the fact that I know Jose Mourinho will get his signings done. I know that. I hope it's before pre-season starts, because we really need to get them in there by pre-season. We've got one done. We need to get at least 2 more done before pre-season starts. But we have to trust him, because he's done well for United so far. He brought us 2 trophies last season. We got into the Champions League. Granted, we didn't get it through the league, and the league form really needs to be questioned, because our league form has to be a lot better. And that's why, after this summer, when Manchester United sign all the players that we need, and Jose Mourinho brings the players he needs in, if Ed Woodward does his job and brings those players in, then there's no excuses for us to underperform in the league next season. Alex says pre-season is massive for some of these kids, and I do agree. It'll be the first time Andreas Pereira can try and impress Jose Mourinho since returning from Granada. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Axel Tuanzebe. If these guys can perform well in pre-season, let's say Jose Mourinho gets Morata, gets Perisic and gets Fabinho or Matic. Let's say he gets those 3 in addition to Lindelof. And we've got that squad going into pre-season. If those players, Axel Tuanzebe, Fosu-Mensah, and who else did I mention? Andreas Pereira. Even Joel Pereira as well. Because I think if David De Gea leaves, Sergio Romero will probably leave. And then it's a big question mark over Joel Pereira. Does Jose trust him as David De Gea's number 2? But that's if David De Gea stays. So then you look at these 4 players. 4 players with huge talent who I think can go on and do big things, who have the potential to be world class. Let's hope they do become that. When you look at all these players, yeah, you think Pre-season is so massive for these guys, because if they have a big pre-season, and they prove to Jose Mourinho that you can trust me, if you call upon me, I'm going to perform. I'm fit enough, I'm ready enough, and I'm going to perform. I'm going to hit the ground running. If those guys can prove that to Jose Mourinho, then absolutely fantastic. Because if they don't, if they have a bad pre-season, then Jose is going to be thinking, can I trust him? Can I trust him? Can I trust him? Can I trust him? And if he can't trust any of those guys, then he's probably going to want to make a few more signings. And they have to make sure that Jose Mourinho isn't tempted to go into the market again after we've made those 3 or 4 signings. It's up to them to prove to him that you can trust me. We're 5 likes away from 200 likes at the moment. We've got over 500 people watching at the minute as well. We're around 400 away from an Adam McKola TV record. Can we make it? Let's hope so. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to hit some of your comments now. Tushar says Sal, Rooney, Jones and Young. We have Lingard for right wing, says Aiden. I think Lingard should be a backup to Mkhitaryan, but we do have Mkhitaryan who could play on the right and then move into the centre. I like that. Just joined, what have I missed, says Killer Gaming HD. So we were basically talking about Ivan Perisic and how Inter Milan have given Manchester United a deadline of Friday to complete the signing and to agree a fee of 50 million euros. This is what the Gazetta in Italy are saying. Thanks to Sport Witness, you can read it and you can read all the translations as well and all the financial fair play implications for Inter Milan. Hi guys, sorry about that. Let me just tell everybody to refresh the stream. I do apologise. Hit that live button. I do apologise for that. I think the internet just messed up or Wirecast messed up. But whatever happened, we are back now. We are back now. Hope you guys are doing well. Just going to hit up some of your comments. Callum, refresh the stream. Hit that live button. Trooper says the 96 have got some justice now. I haven't spoken on this topic much or anything. I don't think I ever have. I may have, but I'm not sure I have. But it was great to see the news this week that charges had been brought to 6 people in relation to the 96 Lions loss at Hillsborough. It's a shame that it's taken so long for it to happen, and it just shows how far the government, the police, and people in authoritative positions can cover things up. So it was nice to see some justice finally brought for those guys. It was nice to see that happen. Obviously, as well, what you've got to look at is this whole thing with Grenfell Tower now. Sorry for going off topic as well, but when you look at Grenfell Tower, it's obvious you do not want the same things to happen again. It feels like at the moment, and the victims and the families around the victims and the survivors all feel like there's a cover-up going on at the moment. There's been a lack of response from the government, local authorities, other local councils have had to step in, other charities, other volunteers, and you just think this is absolute crazy in 2017 that something like this could go down. So you hope that can change, but like I said, it's just great that those guys have finally got justice for what happened at Hillsborough. Who cares about the Confederations Cups as a dose of entertainment? I don't really either. But what I like is that it's just a little bit of football to watch, isn't it? It feels like a pre-season friendly tournament, but I like that there's a little bit of football to watch. And of course, Ronaldo was involved as well. It's always nice to see Ronaldo. Keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that share button, keep hitting that subscribe button. Arpit, how you doing? Andy says, was Smalling put on the transfer list? I don't think he has been officially. If he had been officially, I'm sure we would have heard about it by now. But I do think... Oh, one sec. Shit, what's happened here? I do think Chris Smalling... sorry, mate. Some shit happened there. I do think Chris Smalling will be one of those players that could possibly leave. You hear about other clubs are interested in him. Obviously, Chris Smalling has had a good time at Manchester United at times, but he's been very, very inconsistent. He's picked up the occasional injury. We haven't really been able to rely on him in the last 12 months. And because of that, it seems that United could get rid of him. If we were to get rid of one of Smalling and Jones, given Victor Lindelof's arrival, then it would probably be Smalling. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him leave. Somebody commented, Raid Megan's commented on the private jet that's landed in Manchester. Listen, guys, it could well be a footballer. I don't know any otherwise, whether it is or isn't a footballer. But do you know how many private jets land at Manchester Airport every single day? I don't know the actual figures. But Manchester Airport is one of the biggest airports in England. One of the biggest in the UK. And you guys think private jets aren't going to be passing through that airport left, right and centre? Of course they are. Prince is watching all the way in Ghana. Shout out the African Reds. Shout out all of you guys actually. You're all legends, man. Thank you for getting involved. It's been great having you guys to chat to throughout the summer. Obviously, the transfer window can be boring. The transfer window isn't even open yet, which is incredible. But it can be boring. It can drag on a little bit. The same rumours can pop up. But when I've got you guys to chat to, it's great to have. Chris Ridout Reeves says, are you going on the tour to America? At the moment, I haven't booked anything, but it's definitely something I want to do. Hopefully I can get out for at least one or two of the games. If I had to say now, will I be there for the first game or two? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I hope so. I want to make it happen. Got a little bit of money put aside to make it happen. So let me have a look at it. Hopefully get over there for a game. I don't know if full-time Devils are going. I don't know yet. Trust Jomo, says Naughty Sausage. I guess Jomo is Naughty Sausage's name for Jose Mourinho. Jo says these vids are getting him through the summer break. Thank you, Jo. The fun begins once the season starts, says Bally. I look forward to that. Elliot says he just came. Now, I don't know whether he means he's just arrived in this. I'm not too sure, but thanks for getting involved, mate. Callum, thank you for getting involved as well. 6 years of De Gea today. What a keeper, says Curran. What a keeper he's been for Manchester United. He's been absolutely fantastic. Is he the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment? I think so. I wouldn't swap him for any other goalkeeper. I'll tell you that now. Of course, always question marks over him. Is he going to stay at Manchester United? Is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? What's he going to do? What's going on with David De Gea? But it's all been pretty quiet at the moment. We hear rumours about how Real Madrid are potentially going for Donnarumma, and Mino Raiola's sorting that out. We hear about how Real Madrid, because they've won La Liga back, because they've won back-to-back Champions League, that they may just keep the faith in Keylor Navas, but the rumours are always going to be there, and until that transfer window closes, I won't be confident of David De Gea staying at Man United next season because, oh man, I love him so much. At the end of last season though, I just thought, this is the last time I'm seeing him now. Get over it, he's gone. But if he actually stays, oh my days, I'll be absolutely buzzing. He's the best goalkeeper in the Prem. He's the best goalkeeper in the world. Fuck it. I love David De Gea and I hope he stays. Dave, I know you're a subscriber to Adam McKola TV. Please stay, Dave. Building squad for a top 4 finish, says Nath. I think we'll challenge for the league next season. I don't know if I'm getting overly confident, but if Jose Mourinho gets the players that he wants in, I think we'll challenge for the league next season. Guys, we've hit over 34,000 subscribers now. So thank you very much, guys, for subscribing. Fucking love you lot. Thank you. We have hit over 34,000 now. We do want to hit 40,000 by the time the Premier League campaign starts. Can we do it? I don't know. But the way you guys have been subscribing in your droves in the last couple of weeks, and the way you all the time as subscribers have been getting involved with the channel over the last couple of weeks, you're all helping towards that. So whether we make it or not, thank you all for getting involved. And 40k is the target by the start of the Premier League campaign. But we're on 34,000 now. Legends. Thank you. So today we've been talking about Ivan Perisic. Is he going to come to Manchester United? If you want to read more on that, head over to sportswitness.co.uk. But they're basically saying Inter Milan have given Manchester United a deadline of the 30th of June to get the Ivan Perisic deal done. We can pay 50 million euros for him by Friday if we want. But if we don't get a deal done by Friday, then it's going to go over. It's going to go over the 50 million euros that they want now, and they'll want even more money. They're playing hardball with Manchester United, even though they need to raise funds to get inside the financial fair play regulations. So that's where it stands on Ivan Perisic. The scummy Sun have been reporting about that private jet that flew from Madrid last night into Manchester. They've been questioning whether Alvaro Morata was on that private jet, but we don't know whether he was or whether he wasn't. But it's fueled more speculation regarding Morata's move to Manchester United. That's one that I think will happen. FABINHO has been linked with Paris Saint-Germain today, but I'm not reading too much into that one. It seemed to be a done deal this morning, and then it all went quiet. Could it be Monaco trying to smoke out a little bit more bids, a little bit more money from Manchester United? Maybe it could be, or it could be very well that Fabinho's interest in Paris Saint-Germain. But would Monaco sell to another French side? Would they? Zidane says Inter bluffing ? I think Inter Milan are bluffing, you know. I genuinely do think Inter Milan are bluffing. But they may not be, because if you read that article on Sports Witness, because of a few other deals that they may or may not do, if those deals go through, then they would only need to raise 8 million euros by that deadline. And there's a couple of other players that could potentially leave. So that's probably why they're getting Billy Big Balls and saying, yeah, give us 50 million euros or it isn't happening. Because they don't need as much as we once thought. But if they don't get that 8 million euros, they still need 8 million euros, whether it's selling Perisic or selling someone else. And then that could force their hands. The deadline for Inter to have those funds is the 30th of June, which is tomorrow. Coincidentally, the same deadline for United to meet their 50 million euros price tag. Is he worth 50 million euros? Not in my opinion. When you think of all these players and you think of Morata for 60 to 70 million euros and you think of Fabinho for 30 to 40 million euros, Matic for 40 million euros, yes, you may say those players aren't worth it. But you can understand why those fees are so high. But you can't understand this one because he's not worth that kind of money. It's Sports Witness without the S, second S in sport. Divik says he's doing a football communications study or an exam. Good luck with it. It sounds very, very interesting, that. What kind of qualification would you get from it, and what kind of job can you go into with that qualification? It sounds very, very interesting. Do you think any other teams in the world have started the transfer window off well, says Jamie? I think Manchester City have. They've done quite a lot of their business already. But am I panicking about United's slow start to the transfers? I'm not, no. We've already got one through the door. Realistically, that's about 20-25% of our business. The transfer window isn't open yet. We don't go away on pre-season tour until the 9th of July. So hopefully we can get a few deals done before then. If we don't, then I will be a little bit worried, because I want our players to all be getting involved with the team in pre-season so we can hit the ground running in the league. And if we don't get all our signings done before pre-season, then I'll be a little bit concerned, because I don't want it to drag on all the way into the summer. But overall, I'm not that bothered about it. Just relax a little bit. The window's not open yet. We will buy our players. Abu says he's not impressed by City's signings. They're buying average players. Elliot, chill out with the comments, man. Grow up, will ya? Bernardo Silva is not average, says Jo, and I do agree with you, mate. He's not average, isn't it? 7 million fine if they miss the deadline, says Nath. Would they rather take a £7 million fine over losing one of their better players? To be honest, if I was United and that was happening to United, I would rather take a €7 million fine than lose one of our better players. But Inter Milan, you never know what might happen with that. Smash that like button and subscribe button, says Agusha. He also made a comment about Poland earlier as well, Polish Reds. Yeah, thank you guys. Wherever you're watching, whether it's England, Poland, Ireland, India, wherever you're watching around the world. I've seen Australia in the comments today. I've seen Ghana. I've seen all sorts of locations. Thank you all for getting involved. You don't know how much I love you guys, but I love you an awful lot. And today we've also gone over 34,000 as well. So even more reasons to be celebrating. I will be back on Friday night at 8 p.m. UK time. So make sure you join us for that, guys. I'm looking forward to that live stream. Will we finally have some more confirmed transfer news from Manchester United? We've signed Victor Lindelof. We've released Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We've lost Josh Harrop, who's going to move to Preston on a free. Funnily enough, Preston's manager has left to go to Sunderland today, so he'll have a new manager than he expected. But those are the confirmed bits of business at the moment. Will United and Inter Milan sort a deal out for Perisic by the time the deadline hits? What will happen with FABINHO, Mata? Mata's staying. Matic, Morata. What will happen with all those guys? Get your comments in below. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Prajesh, you're a legend too. All you guys in the comments are a legend. And if you missed this live, we're 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, MUFC Transfer Talk live, 8 p.m. UK time. So make sure you join us live one day if you can. Until then, guys, I've been Adam McKola. You guys have been absolute legends. We're out of here.